Namaste, dear listeners, and welcome to the Iowa channel Astro In with Abhi, Oneness in Astrology and Spirituality, bringing in awareness by Abhi. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please click on the subscribe button, like, and share this podcast so that my content can reach as many people as possible. Now, dear listeners, I think that today's discussion will be absolutely important to help you better understand um, how to achieve whatever it is that you want. And I'll tell you why it's important to understand that the bigger picture is what you shouldn't be focused on, but rather focus on the ingredients that's required to get there. Now, look, both is vitally important, but I think where we lose the plot is where we are so focused on the bigger picture that we actually tend to forget as to what the characteristics are to get there. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now, if you look at a puzzle obviously is called a puzzle because you got to put pieces together. So the putting of the pieces together gives you a puzzle. But correctly putting the pieces together gives you the bigger picture. So there is only one way to put the puzzle pieces together. Irrespective of what you do, there is only one way. The shapes are in a certain way, they've been cut out in a certain way, and they can only go a slot in that way. Similar to your life expectancies, or similar to your goals, your vision, whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve in your life, there is something called characteristics that you got to inherit, or characteristics that you got to attain, or characteristics that you have to have within you. You have to be those characteristics for you to see the bigger picture. It's absolutely pointless for you to understand what the bigger picture is, for you to have that vision in your hand, for you to have the end in mind, but not know exactly what characteristics are needed and what moves you need to make and when to make those moves. Because remember, the pieces are only possible in one way. For example, in business, you need resilience, you need dedication, you need to have passion, which nobody can teach you. You need to be of a sacrificial nature. You need to be disciplined and patient. You need to be, look, I really love this one. You need to be consistent. Now, if you are none of these basic things, then you will never be able to pick up a business. Leave alone picking up a business, you will never be able to lead a business successfully. You will be an unsuccessful disaster. Why? Not because you never understood the picture, but because you failed on the characteristics of what's required. Now, I am doing special readings with regards to this here, and I think if you are in a position where you are having relationship concerns, you are having health concerns, you are having career concerns, or if you're having overall concerns with regards to how your mind is functioning, then I think it's important for you to book a session with me, because fundamentally it means that in every area of your life where you're having difficulty, it means you lack the characteristics that's required to make that a success. Now, the qualities that I have explained earlier on, they can be transferable in various different sectors of your life. Unfortunately, depending on where your sun sign is, where your Rahu is, and depending where your moon is, Most people will gravitate towards one sector more than the next. So they will be dedicated, resilient, consistent in their career. But when it comes to relationships, if you look at the Navamsa chart or if you look at the Venus placement, you'll see that when it comes to relationships, they're not so driven. They want it, but they don't know how to manage it. They don't know how to look after it. But when it comes to their career, it's very simple. You got to look at 10th house activity, you got to look at 7th house activity in the chart. So this is what tells me where the difficulties are going to come in. And obviously, looking at the chart, I can tell you what you need to do going forward to bring out a better, more profound experience in that area of your life. Even though we are just sticking to the basic characteristics of what's needed, there are things that you can do over and above that for you to really feel the importance of having those characteristics, not just doing it because you want to see the perfect picture. You cannot be a passionate person. Passion has to come from within you. It can never be explained or taught to you. But to be passionate, one has to be of love. If you have no love, there's no passion. Everything is just done for the sake of it. So, this podcast is purely on the explanation and the importance of the explanation of the importance on maintaining or exhibiting, then maintaining the characteristics that's required to be a success. Remember, in a puzzle, the bigger picture is only possible through the certain pieces that's there and how they fit in. They can only fit in one way. And that one way is the correct way. And there is only one way in most areas of your life. And that way is that one way which, if I explain to you the different characteristics that's required to maintain a relationship, it might seem like a lot of work. But when you are transferring these disciplines in various sectors of your life, it becomes secondary nature. It becomes an unconscious thing that happens. And that's where you need to be. Where all of these characteristics are happening unconsciously. If you have to put a puzzle together after 10 times, you will pretty much understand how to put the puzzle more quicker on the 11th time. And by the 100th time, you probably might by heart that puzzle. And it might take you a fraction, only a fraction of the initial time that it took you. That's what this podcast is about. It may be difficult at first. It's only because you are new to it. But once you exhibit these qualities, it becomes a reality within you. After that, it becomes an unconscious happening to bring you into a state of consciousness. So I hope you understand the importance of the qualities over and above the end in mind. Thank you, dear listeners. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Hari Bol, and goodbye.